Give me one.
And welcome back to Luckslinger. Last time we rolled into town, and we were given an assignment to take down Sean Boomboy O'Connor for stealing one of the 6 luck charms, and we're going to be doing that today. So last time we met just about everybody in town except for Luca, who runs the train station. And what he has to tell us is prevalent to the boss fight up ahead. Duly noted, man. And off we go to Sad Hill. Alright, now we started the very first level for reals. So, it's basically just the tutorial level all over again, because most of the enemies are from that one, except for the armadillos, who will roll at you, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. And that's mostly why I didn't comment on any of the enemies in that level, because we'll be retreading ground here. So, enemies in Luckslinger can be categorized in 3 categories. You can have your ground animal type, which is like an armadillo, and the snake. And then you got your shoot man, which is just these banditos here that will just stand here and shoot every now and again. The first iteration of the shoot man is very slow, and he can go down in 3 hits. There's also a second variant of the shoot man who wears darker clothing, and he shoots a little faster, and it takes a few more shots to take him down. And the very last type of enemy is the flying type, which we'll see a little later in the video. And here's the first gambling tent. We can spend a little money for a chance to win a prize. And what we're basically trying to do is we're trying to get 3 green cards to show up on screen. But if you don't have a whole lot of luck, it's kind of tough and you'll be spending a whole lot of money. But we can utilize the power of our bracelet once more and sort of rig the game into our favor. And we can win up to 3 prizes per tent. And those can range from anywhere from extra health, an extra life, or a sub-weapon. Well, looky here. Looks like a prisoner escaped from the prison, and he recently died. I wonder if he's got anything interesting on him. And now we're at the farm. There's always going to be a farm in every level, and what happens is once you approach it, the farmer's wife is going to take one good look at you, and if you're lucky, she'll like you, and she'll give you a free item, like this portable shield. And then other times, if she don't like you, she'll send her husband after you, who you'll have to kill. Anyways, to get this record here, we're going to need to utilize our bracelet again, and make some platforms spawn. Also, we're going to use those platforms to get over to this dead... Whoa! Never mind, he's not dead. Well, we need to get over to this prisoner who has a gold bar on him. And there's always going to be one in every level. I wonder who that mysterious man with the harmonica is. Well, best not to dwell on him. We also just saw our first flying type enemy, and what they do is they usually just fly back and forth until you get into their range, and they will swoop down and try to charge at you. They're always going to position themselves so that way you can shoot them while crouching. There are some situations where they will be at standing height, but those are few and far between, and I'll point them out as we get to those. And here's one of our crescendo events where the scream's going to lock up and we have to shoot a bunch of men to advance the scream forward. This one's pretty easy because everybody dies in just 3 hits. But there's always going to be one in every level, sometimes 2. And here's the second gambling tent. There's always going to be 2 tents in every level. So in a way, you have 7 opportunities to get an item, provided that you're really lucky and have lots of money. Speaking of luck, hey, who's up for a game of Russian roulette? I am. So you could play this normally, but that's very ill-advised because even though you may have full luck, there's still always a chance that you might blow your own head off. And that's instant death, and boy howdy is it not really fun to have to die just because you had to play Russian roulette. So instead, why don't we make use of our bracelet once more? So if we walk off the carpet just a little bit, we can activate the power of our bracelet, and then we can play the game, and we'll always win on the first round. Now the minimum amount of luck needed to do that is 5 pieces of luck. If you have less than that, then the luck field will peter out before he even takes a shot. So always keep that in mind whenever you're going for 100% of the gold bars. And here is the second crescendo event. This arena is built in such a way that it sort of hints at what you're going to be getting into in the boss fight, because there's going to be a whole lot of jumping on a single platform in the boss fight, so this is sort of getting you ready for that. Speaking of, we're at the end of the level. So before we get on to the boss, I'm going to go ahead and spend up all of my luck and all my lucky bullets, so that way I can have a fair fight against Sean. Alright, so for the first phase of the fight, Sean's going to be hanging out in his carriage throwing 2 types of dynamite at you. There's the red regular stick of dynamite that goes to one point and just blows up, and then he's got the fat blue stick that blows up mid-air and disperses into 3 different sticks. So the best way to approach the blue sticks is, once they blow up, you find a sweet spot between 2 of them, and once they get close to the ground, you jump, so that way you don't get cut up in the explosion. And just keep doing this until the darker bars are gone and you go into the lighter bars of his health bar, which he will step out of his carriage and introduce his 3rd type of dynamite, the big barrel of dynamite, which will roll onto the ground and blow up the arena. And now you kind of get why Luca told us to stay near the crosses, because it's going to blow up in between the crosses. However, there is a big advantage to having the ground blown up like this, because now when he throws those big blue sticks, most of the time they're just going to fall down the holes, and they won't bother you none. So all you have to worry about is the single sticks and sticks that end up in your position, and you can just maneuver yourself between the 3 platforms. And there he goes. He's down. Now there's an achievement where you have to beat him before he blows up any part of the ground. And to do that, we're going to make use out of our portable shield that we got earlier in the level. So once he starts kicking them out, just drop your shield in the far back of the arena, and they'll run into the shield, but they'll never blow up. So you can keep fighting him without having to worry about the dynamites blowing up. However, you do have to give up some of the real estate in your arena, which can get a little claustrophobic depending on where you put the shield, but I mean, if you play it smart, you'll pretty much get it. And since he has the luck charm too, he can also activate his luck and make your shots miss him completely. However, lucky bullets will pierce through this field and actually hit him anyway. So now that we defeated Sean, we have to decide what to do with him. We could take him back alive by standing on the left side of his body, or we could kill him by standing on the right side. But for this playthrough, we are going to be nice, and we're going to let the town decide what to do with him. So we're taking him in alive. And that about does it for this video. I hope to catch you next time. See ya.
Give me one.